Hi, I'm Jennifer. Welcome back to the channel. You are probably watching this video because you have just graduated. So maybe you are a student of psychology and you have gotten your degree or your certificate or diploma or whatever, and you have been given the power to read. Now you are out here, you don't know where to start. You don't know what's next. You don't know what lies ahead. You have no idea what you're supposed to be doing with your life now that you're no longer a student and you have your certificates. You don't know where to start. And in this video, I will be talking about some things that I think you could pursue, some things you could do now that you have your papers. But I will not be giving you a job, unfortunately. And in my experience, I have seen people diverge into 4 different roads. The first thing that I see people do is, if you have a job already, whatever kind of a job, it doesn't matter whether it's psychology related or not, you continue doing that job. Because let's be honest, you need to pay your bills. You can't say that now that you've graduated, you will resign and go do other things with your psychology degree, unless that was your plan all along, and unless there's a way that you can support yourself and pursue your dream of being a full-time psychologist. Most people tend to stick to the job that they had all along when they were in school, or the job that they get, the first job that they get. And yeah, you do psychology part-time, you see clients part-time if you really want to practice. That is a very common thing that I have seen among even like seasoned counselors. There are people who practice full-time as counselors, but many people, a majority of people, especially in our country, practice psychology part-time. And I've had this conversation with many people. I mean, I know many of my psychologist friends who are not full-time therapists. They do other things. They have other jobs that they go to 9 to 5, and on the side they do psychology, and it is understandable. I don't think there's anything wrong with that, because the reality is that life requires you to have money, and no matter how much you love your psychology degree, and no matter how much you love the idea of working as a full-time therapist, you will need to take care of your bills. And if that means that you have to get a side job, or you have to do therapy as a side job, then that is what you will have to do. Unfortunately, that's the reality. So if you can, continue doing the job that you are doing and start practicing psychology slowly on the side. So you can start maybe having like 1 or 2 clients a maximum, and you can dedicate a specific number of hours out of your work week to see clients, just to make sure that you can afford to take care of yourself, take care of your life, take care of the job that you're doing, and also get to use your degree as a counselor. If you are jobless, like you've graduated, you do not have a job at all, you never had a job before, and you're fresh in the job market and everything, you might have to start looking for a job. So if you have watched the video that I posted previously about advice for psychology students, I mentioned that you should be, as a psychology student, you should spend a lot of your time networking, you should spend a lot of time volunteering to places that you would want to work in future. I mentioned that you should be building connections with people and making sure that you have something going on for you in the mental health field, so that by the time you graduate, you have people that you can talk to help you in your job search. So this is the time to cash in on those connections. This is the time for you to get in touch with your networks, get in touch with people that you met when you were volunteering at different places. This is the time to be like, hey, I just graduated and I'm looking for a job or an internship or an opportunity of whichever kind. If you know someone or somewhere that I can do any of that, I'll be happy to give it a try. So connect me, hook me up, and let me know. It is also a good idea to go back to the place where you've been doing your practicum and speak to them. Ask them if they would consider taking you on as an employee. Sometimes they do. If you are really an exceptional person that they had in the organization when you were doing your practicum there, there's a likelihood that they would be very open to having you come back as an employee. And even if you're not coming in as an employee, at a full-time employee, getting paid a whole lot of money, probably they will not do that, because again, financing is always a thing with every business. But they might be willing to take you on even if it's as a part-time counselor, because you were such an exceptional person when you were with them on practicum. That's why I keep insisting, you need to take your practicum very seriously. I know some people can be flaky with their practicum. You can consider it something that you just do for the sake of doing because it's a requirement from school. But in my opinion, you need to take the things that are going to build your career very seriously. So if it's your practicum site, show up on time, be well dressed for the environment, learn to be kind to your fellow colleagues at the practicum site, do your job, be present, apply yourself. Don't just be somebody who shows up when they won't show up and you just do mediocre work. If you really want to excel in this life, you need to find a way of applying yourself. Most people want to work in the field that they studied, and it's understandable. So yeah, talk to your practicum site, talk to your practicum supervisor, see if they will consider taking you on as an entry-level counselor, part-time counselor, or full-time counselor if they have the opportunity. The third path that you can pursue is going into private practice. And let me just start off by saying that going into private practice is not as easy as people make it seem. You don't just wake up and become a private practice counselor. It takes time, it takes money, a lot of money, it takes energy, it requires a different mindset. And I will be actually the next couple of videos are going to be about private practice in Kenya and how to make sure that you don't become a statistic of failure. So you can consider going into private practice if you have the financial muscle. Let's say you have been saving up during your studies, maybe you had a part-time job or whatever kind of a job, and you are able to collect some money and you can use that money to start your private practice. Or you have a financier, somebody who is willing to take on the financial burden of the private practice, and you feel that this is a path you want to pursue. That will be a good option to go for. The other option actually on private practice is going into a group practice. So you and a bunch of other counselors come together and start a group practice where you are counselors and you offer mental health services and you split the expenses of running the private practice as a group. That could be a thing. There are some people who do that to make things easier, and I would encourage you to do it if you feel that it's something that you want to take on. But always remember that private practice is a business, and we'll be talking more about that in future. Last but definitely not least, if you've watched the video I did on whether a psychology degree is worth it or not, you're going to remember there's a point I made about you carving out your own path using your psychology degree. From the beginning, as I said in one of the videos, it's a good idea to always know what you want to do with your degree. Don't wait till the day you graduate for you to start thinking about what to do with your psychology degree. You're gonna get disappointed, you're gonna get frustrated because you don't know where to start. But if you start thinking about what to do with your degree, even before you enroll, even before you start this entire process, you will be in a better place to find the degree useful to you. So think about those 4 things and see which one works best for you. Congratulations on graduating, and I wish you nothing but the best as you try to find your place in this field. If you're listening and you're a psychologist or somebody with a psychology degree and you've been able to use your degree in other ways beyond what I've just mentioned, please share it in the comment section. Let's hear what your experience has been, and encourage somebody who has a psychology degree and has just graduated and they don't know where to start. This is a good time for you to share your wisdom that you have gained by having that psychology degree. Thanks for watching. I really appreciate you coming through every time, and I will see you in the next video. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, you can put them in the comment section of this video, or you can get in touch with me in the contact information that I have always put in the description box. You can always find everything in there. Like, subscribe, follow, all those things, you know the drill, and I will see you in the next video.